There's a great book by John Maxwell called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and I love that book where it talks about some of the things that basically are just givens when it comes to leadership. And what I've done is I've narrowed that same list down to the 11 irrefutable laws about real estate, lining up with some of those. These are things that if you practice these, if you understand these, and you apply them to your business, you're gonna go to the next level. I can't wait to share this with you. Let's get to it. So there are certain things in our real estate business that if we understand them, if we apply them, then they will absolutely work and grow our business in a way that we can't even imagine. But there are certain things that if we don't do certain things, it's going to hinder us as well. So what I want to do today is I want to break this down, basically playing off of what John Maxwell did with his 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, and give you my 11 irrefutable laws of real estate. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the first one, and that's this, the law of the lid. Now, this is symbolic, basically. Just think of it this way. If there's a lid on your business, you cannot get past that lid to go to a next level. So let's imagine this. Let's say that you want your business operating at a level 8. And your lid is at a level 4. There's no way for your business to break through the 4 to get to 8. So what does this mean? This means that we need to develop ourselves in a way that we can operate from a level of 8. So think of it this way. If you know that the person that's doing the amount of business you have has gone out and they've studied the business harder, they understand neighborhoods more, they are out there and they're being a student of the business and a student of how to grow their business in a way that you're not at. Here's what happens is, the second that you take your lid and you grow in what your knowledge is and how to perform better in the business, all of a sudden your business will fill in the gap and your business will grow. So remember this, if you're at a place where you're having trouble breaking through to that next level, remember this law of the lid and get out there and study harder, know more, develop your skills, and I promise that lid will go up and your business will go up too. The second law is the law of process. Listen, there's only so much time that we have each day, and there's only so many things we can do. The way that we can leverage our time and that we can do more is by having processes, having checklists, and having systems in place that give us the ability to operate more efficiently. So the law of process basically says this: what are the processes that you have in place that you're developing right now that give you more time to fill in the gap to work with more clients? What are the processes that you've put in place, the checklists you have, to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks and that you're continuing to generate new business? Is there a process you have for lead generation, a process for new transactions? When a listing's taken, is there a process and a checklist? You see, when you get to a place where you develop your processes in a way that is at another level, your business will grow to another level as well. Number 3 is the law of addition. If you're at a place where you want your business to grow, I have to add you, how many people are you adding value to? What are you adding to the marketplace that's different from anybody else? Are you doing more videos? Are you writing more blog posts? Are you doing more social media posts? Are you entertaining and educating people in a different way from everyone else? What is it that you're doing that's additional to what everybody else is doing? Because when you do additional things, your business all of a sudden begins to not just add, it multiplies at levels you can't even imagine. The fourth law is the law of magnetism. Literally, your vibe attracts your tribe. What is it that you're doing? I remember early on in my career, I read this book that talked about the fact that if you looked at your clientele base that you're attracting to your business, typically it's a lot of people that are a lot like you. And I looked around and I was like, wow, I've got some improving to do. Let me just say this, if you're looking to be someone that attracts people that are giving or that are focused on others, become someone that's more giving and more focused on others. If you're looking for a clientele base that is more educated, become more educated. If you're looking for a client base that is basically at a place where they're focused on finding the perfect place for themselves, but also they're in a community environment where they would share you with other people and send you referrals, become the person that's a connector. Become the person that's involved in a community and that is sharing referrals with people that are in other businesses. Like attracts like. So if you're out there and you're wondering about this law of magnetism, become someone that's going to attract the exact type person that you want. You have to become that person yourself. Number 5 is the law of your inner circle. Who are you spending time with? I know this gets tired of hearing a lot of times, but we absolutely are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Are you coming into the office and spending time with the people that are just looking for a place to go and they're coming to the real estate office because they don't have anything else to do? Or are you spending time with the top producers, inviting them to lunch? Are you in masterminds with other people that are growth oriented? Are you spending time with people that are doing more business than you are? Or are you spending time with people that are maybe just scraping by? You see, when you get to a place where you have this inner circle of people that are growing the way you want to grow, they're learning the things you want to learn, and they're excelling in this business, I promise your average of those 5 people is going to continue to go up, and so will your business. Number 6 is the law of Big Mo. Momentum is the most powerful, unforeseen factor, I believe, in real estate business growth. You need to get some wins. Listen, if you're at a place where you've hit a plateau, or you're struggling, or you've had 2 or 3 deals that have gone sour, get some momentum. Now, how do you do that? You go and you find some easy wins. Go find some things that are easy for you to do. Go find your ideal client. Go back and talk to your favorite client you've ever had and just check in with them where you get some momentum. Hey, that was a great conversation. Now let me go have another great conversation. Go out there and go to the place where you had your most successful transaction, the last one that you had. Go back to that place and start back from where you were. Basically, it gives you the ability to start building momentum slowly, but as it builds and it grows, all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, wait a minute, I think we got something moving in the right direction right here. And once momentum starts moving, I'll promise you, you can't slow it down. Number 7 builds on the law of Big Mo, and that's the law of reproduction. You see, what happens in our business is that once we get some momentum and we have some wins, we begin to have more wins. A lot of times what happens is we can reproduce the results we've had before. So what is it that you've done that you feel confident that you could do again? What is it that you could reproduce in a way that would help more people? Focus on those things that you've done in the past. Reproduce those. Go out there and make sure that you're continuing to add value in those areas, and all of a sudden the results that you've had, the momentum that you've had, it's going to begin to build more and more because you're reproducing some of the successes you've had in the past. Number 8 is the law of priorities. What we focus on expands. What's priority to you? Do you come into the office each day and then try to figure out what's gonna happen, and you're reacting to the business rather than being proactive about the business? What I would encourage you to do is to think about these things that you're focusing on. When you begin to focus on the things like lead generation, like follow up with past clients, like focusing on a farm area, whatever it is we focus on, it's going to expand. Make sure you have your priorities right and you're focused on the things that help your business move forward. When you do that and you cut out all those things that are just time wasters, now we got something that we can really work on, and I promise you that's where we're going to start seeing some growth. Number 9 is the law of sacrifice. I wish I could tell you that you could work 20 hours a week in real estate, and especially when you're starting out, and you'd have all the success you want. It just doesn't work that way. There's going to have to be a time in your career, not for the entire career, but there's going to have to be a time at some point when you want to see growth that you're going to have to sacrifice more. What does that look like? That means you're going to have to sacrifice some time. That may mean that you're going to have to sacrifice some of the things that you enjoy. Maybe you don't play golf 4 times this week, you only play once, but you actually focus on growing your business. You sacrifice some of the things that are in your life that are just time killers that are keeping you from being all that you were created to be in this business. So what is it for you? What is it that you're lacking right now? What is it that you're not sacrificing in? What is it that you can give up that's going to lead? In the short run, it may be a little painful, but in the long term, it's going to be long-term gain. I promise you, if you make the sacrifices, you're going to see growth. One of the stories that I had, I started out right out of college, and I had a mentor of mine that basically when I started, he said, Jimmy, I just have to tell you, hard work's going to pay off. And he said, what I need from you is I need you to turn the locks 1 time a day. And what he meant by that was I needed to either be the first one there in the morning before anybody else got there and start working earlier, or I needed to be the last one that left and I turned the locks and I locked it when I left. I have to tell you, to this day, I still believe that I have successful days when I turn the locks at least once a day. When I'm the hardest working one in there, listen, I can't judge on who's going to do business with me, but I can judge on the things that I can control, which is my effort. So what is it you're doing in a sacrificial way that's different from everybody else? What are you doing more of? What are you giving more of? What are you sacrificing more than anyone else? Because in the sacrificing, that's where we begin to see things begin to change and we begin to see dramatic growth. Number 10 is the law of timing. Listen, I don't know when the right time is going to be for you to be doing and making calls. I don't know when you're going to be at a place where you just know that, hey, if I make 10 calls right now, it's going to work. You just have to be in the water to catch the waves, so to speak. You have to be doing the business consistently. And what that does is it gives you the ability to understand that when the timing's right, when everything lines up, when that seller's considering it, you're going to be the one that happens to pick up the phone that day, make your however many calls you make on a daily basis, and you're going to talk to them at just the right time. time. The law of timing says this, that if you're consistently out there adding value to people, if you're consistently doing the work, the law of timing will take care of itself and you will be in the right place at the right time to see the growth you're looking for. Last but not least is the law of explosive growth. Listen, we're all looking for those times in our career where things just were coming along and then all of a sudden they just went hyperbolic, so to speak. Your growth just went dramatically higher, and it happens when you least expect it. But let me give you the three parts to this that I believe each and every person that has explosive growth sees and develops before that explosive growth happens. The first one is this: having a group of raving fans. Who is it that's sending you referrals? Do you have a group of 25 that's the best people you know, and they're the people that are out there and they're just supporting you? Maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's past clients, maybe it's just people that just want to see you succeed, and they're out there singing your praises. Make sure you're not just having this group, but you're developing the relationships with those group. What are you doing for them? Are you sending them thank you notes? Are you giving them opportunities to spend some time with you, taking them to lunch? Whatever it is where you're deepening those relationships, that's the first part, is having that group of raving fans that are out there singing your praises everywhere they go. The second thing you need in place to see that explosive growth is hard work. It just, bottom line is this: I wish I could tell you it was easy, but the people that I know that are the most successful in real estate are the hardest workers I know in real estate. At some point in their career at least. You know, what you may be seeing is you may be reading chapter 37 in this person's book where you're seeing them after they've been in the business for 25 years and they're working maybe 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day. But what you don't see is all of those days when they were starting out, all of those days when they were in slumps, that they were working 12, 14-hour days. I have to tell you, if you're at a place where you're wanting to see explosive growth, is it lining up with the things you're saying? You may be saying to yourself, I really want to see some big growth in my business. Is your work ethic lining up with what you're saying? Or are you lagging and you're just kind of coasting? Listen, when you find a way to be the hardest worker around, you're going to find a way eventually to be the most successful agent around as well. The third factor, if you're looking for explosive growth that you need in place, is you gotta have a team around you. Listen, it's bigger than you. If you're gonna be all that you were created to be, if you're gonna build a business that grows and that thrives, it's going to take additional people being a part of your team. So whether you're just starting out, it may not be right now, but eventually you're going to need a transaction coordinator if you're going to be able to do all the business you can do. You're going to need a personal assistant. You're going to need someone that helps you with marketing, or you're going to need a person that handles all three of those things for you. Eventually, if you're going to grow your business to the level that it has the potential to grow to, it's going to take other people. I love what Deion Sanders said at his Hall of Fame speech when he was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. He said that if your dream is only about you, it ain't big enough. Let me just say this. If you're going to grow to the level that you were created to grow to, you're going to have other people around you. So if you've got these three factors in place and you're looking for explosive growth, if you're working hard, you're building a team around you, and you have those raving fans, I promise you explosive growth is just around the corner. One of the most frustrating parts about this business is that it's not that complicated. It's an if-then business. One of the greatest things about this business is it's not that complicated. Basically, you just heard them, the 11 irrefutable laws of real estate success. If you'll follow these laws to a T, I promise your business is bigger than you could ever imagine. It'll grow into something that you can be proud of. It'll grow into something that you never even saw coming. Make sure you're out there. You're taking the action needed to get the results you deserve. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.